And it seems it's all over, folks. The official statement the day before is dead. It lasted 4 days between release and closure, and that was it. That was it. The trailers where the game was originally announced looked amazing. The launch trailers looked good, but essentially the whole game was a lie. The whole game was a scam. 5 years this was ongoing, and in the end, it died. I guess the only thing that it has going for it is that it lasted in terms of popularity, and I guess the only thing it had going for it is that it lasted longer than Spider-Man 2, because after 2 days, no one was talking about Spider-Man. But here, at least they lasted 4 days, and people are still talking about it, even if it is for the wrong reasons. But it's a pretty harsh, situation. People paid money. You've got investors, you've got publishers, and I don't think any of them actually realized what was going on. Well, obviously the players didn't, but it doesn't seem like the investors did either. From what was promised in the original game, if you look at the original trailers, from vaulting to, everything, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I've seen videos where people are driving around a city like Days Gone in a Bugatti. It's ridiculous. It doesn't suit the game. Why is it even there? But we have this official statement from them. Today we announced the closure of Fantastic Studio. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially. I'm guessing they released this in its current state because they did run out of money, and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. We also know now that this is actually no longer the case. The publisher has apparently gone to take the money off the developers to actually refund the money. We invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of the day before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. So why not release this game as early access? If you release it as early access, people will invest in it, you'll get some funding, and at the end of the day, even if it's not up to par, it's early access, it's a work in progress, it's a proof of concept, it's not released. Why release it as a fully fledged game? It makes no sense, outside of the fact that they just wanted to kill the game. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before, but early access would have helped you along. Instead, you released what is a complete mess, and it looks nothing like what was promised. There was no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. And for what? You lost everything. So not, doing crowdfunding or going early access was not the better option. The better option was to release it in the current state that it's in, to then just go out of business. Even if you did last, longer than Spider-Man 2 in terms of popularity, that's not the biggest win you can get out there right now, by the way. At the moment, the future of the day before prop night is unknown, but the servers will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately, we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor. You think? We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. And as you can see, these games over here, some of these have already now started to go over to a new publisher, which essentially is the same people. They're trying to avoid closure of their games to continue bringing in money, and it's a really scummy thing that they're doing right now. It's not good. It's not good at all. As you can see here, the Discord has been completely wiped. No one there. They've basically kicked everyone from the Discord because it was a complete shitfest in there. It was bad, real bad. Over here, you can see, wonder why they failed. Unbelievable. That guy's hyped this game so much, and they hyped this game like way beyond what you would expect for a game. Just think of like a game that was hyped to unknown levels, right? This game was hyped even more than that with the trailers and stuff by the developers themselves. You guys are an absolute disgrace to the video game. This was our first big experience. Shit happens. That's not an excuse. I'm sorry. Fantastic, that is not an excuse. You knew exactly what this game was. You knew exactly where this game was going, what state it was in, and you continued to lie and lie. And, you're seeing the footage on screen right now. This is what they sold us, right? That's not what you got. I mean, basic functions like vaulting aren't even in the game. That's it's literally just a shell. It's unacceptable. What they promised with body parts dismembering and all this, none of that is here. None. In fact, the trailer had more zombies than the actual game itself does. Let that sink in. Spoke to a content creator yesterday and she said, unfortunately, there will be more games and devs putting out shite like this, like the day before. Cash grabs, scams. I remember seeing the trailer of this game and going, man, what I wouldn't do for a jacked PC. And then you've got IGN. I haven't seen IGN give a 1 out of 10 in a long time. I haven't seen it for, I can't even remember. The day before review, unbearable. The day before is easily one of the worst games I've ever played, to the point where I'm afraid to continue running it on my PC. And if you didn't manage to try it yourself, you can probably count yourself as one of the lucky ones. I mean, I was really hoping that this game would have been good. I really was, but man, what a disappointment. And the devs just, I mean, it actually gets worse, right? It actually gets worse. $4.4 million, right? So lifetime Steam unit sales, they made 201,000 units. 91,000 was refunded. So they're still refunding, right? On on the Steam reviews, 19% positive, 81% negative reviews. The game failed financially and did not pay off. The result is even worse than that of Prop Night. And Nitrado servers are the ones, I mean, they're not even that good, but there's an annual contract cost of 1 million. But had the game been good, at least that would have been funded quite easily, right? Because we're about to see, as we know, 4.4 million is still a lot of money that they've made just on the puny 201,000 sales. And this could have easily hit 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a million with the way the game had its hype and popularity. But to date, there are 0 sales. On day 2, they no longer joined the global top sellers. This is awful, but Nitrado servers are not great. In fact, they're awful. But as you can see here, someone worked out the maths. Even from the 110,000 after the 91,000 is gone, that is still $4 million that they're walking away with. And this is why the actual publisher has decided to move in and take their money off them to refund it, because the actual developers tried to walk away with it to say, yeah, we're going to pay our debts off with this and let Steam deal with everything else. And the publisher said, no, get your butt cheeks here right now. But it gets worse, right? I mean, the actual whole cityscape of the day before is here. They literally bought a $300 pack, or $400 when it's not on sale. But this is essentially Days Gone. This is it. This is everything. It's ridiculous, right? They didn't even create anything themselves. I mean, I get using assets, right? I get it. But when you make your whole game based on this, it's bad. And does this look familiar? It should do. It should do. Because it's literally what they took. They just asset flipped everything. Went in. It's not great, guys. It's not great. They literally tried to just underplay this and tried to go as low effort as possible and deal with it. It's just awful. It's really awful. But hopefully this won't become a trend. This won't become something that's going to settle in. I mean, at the end of the day, the developers screwed up. They promised the world. They pretty much did a No Man's Sky. And unlike Sean Murray, who actually had the backing and they were able to turn it around, these guys, they couldn't turn it around. Now, did these developers ever intend to turn this around? Did they ever intend to release the game as it is? There literally nothing that was revealed in the trailer is possible in the game. Nothing. It's almost like what we saw in the trailer and what we have here is 2 different games. This shouldn't be let off lightly either. These developers essentially committed fraud. They tried to sell you something that wasn't what they were selling. Even their trailers are something that isn't what you're getting. It's false advertising. It's fraud. It's a scam. And hopefully we will never see something like this again. But whatever way we're looking at this, it's just awful. And I feel like I haven't purchased this, right? And I feel cheated because I was excited for this game. I wanted this game to be good. I wanted to jump into this with my friends and play it and enjoy it. But what we got was not only just asset flipping, no effort put in. There's literally nothing capable in this game. You can go in some buildings and essentially it is a bare bones, survival game. That's it. It's bare bones. There's almost no zombies to shoot. I saw the combat. It looks awful. The netcode is terrible. The graphics don't look great. It looks bland. And for a game that's supposed to be, supposed to look like this, it's sad. But the day before is gone. It's over. And it lasted 4 days. From release to company fold. And man, oh man, I really hope they get what's coming to them, because they scammed a lot of people. And I really hope they walk away with absolutely nothing but a huge debt that's going to basically remind them and be a beacon to everyone else out there that doing this sort of shit has repercussions. And it needs to be dealt with that way. So anyone else thinking that they're going to do this will think twice, because it's not fair on the consumer. They went into this with all the promises of the world and got absolutely nothing. Sure, certain games have recovered. No Man's Sky, Final Fantasy XIV, but they are few and far between. Even Redfall, to a certain degree, is now actually pretty damn good. Having played it just the other night, I had a really good time. But how many games have come that haven't succeeded? For every one that succeeds in making a comeback, 100, 200 fail. The odds aren't stacked in your favor. It's like playing that gacha game where there's a 0.001% chance that you're going to get the max prize on your first pull. And you get it, and you're like, yeah, look at this. I got it in my first pull. And then someone else comes along and goes, right, if he can get it, I'm going to get it. That's not how this works. The fact that he got it is like a 1 in a billion. Just because they did it doesn't mean you're going to do it. It's wrong. Oh, man. 4 days. The day before with a 1 out of 10 review is no longer. Man, what a mess. What a mess. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, folks. Remain legend.